Recently, I watched an interview with Sasha Bublik after Roland Garros where he talked about how changing his racket helped him return to the top 50. It made me think, hey, it turns out that the racket is very important. All tennis players know these cliches.
Switch the racket and everything got better. Or play terribly, blame the racket.
But Sasha Bublik is one of those examples where changing the racket really made a difference. In professional tennis, changing a racket is a very risky step. For example, Novak Djokovic took a whole year to get used to the head after Wilson and to win his first title. Although in the early matches when things didn't go well, he looked at his racket as if it was to blame. All players know that the main thing about a racket is feeling it, and even the best rackets can be unsuitable for specific players. To create miracles on the court, the racket should be like an extension of the hand. I remember how some players told me that the feeling from a new racket is just a self-suggestion and that you need to be able to play with any pen. I agree that if you can play at all, a racket won't turn you into Federer. I wish it would. But still, the right racket really helps unlock potential and can literally bring a player to the peak of their abilities. Sasha Bublik played with Technofiber rackets, but in recent matches he appeared on the court with a mysterious black painted racket without a logo. Online detectives have already investigated and found out that the racket under the paint is a Babolat Aero. And indeed, from Sasha's matches, it's clear that his shots have become more powerful and his drop shots are just delightful. Poor Draper. In the interview, Sasha noted that changing his racket was the key X factor to his victories. He also changed the racket weight from 330 grams to 290 grams, a difference of 40 grams. Currently, there is a trend in the tour to reduce racket weight because tennis has become very fast. If before Nadal's 340-gram racket was considered the lightest, now that wouldn't be like that. When you hear a player say, "It wasn't me, it was the racket," you probably don't believe it much. But when that player first makes it to the quarterfinals of Roland Garros, you're like, that doesn't sound so crazy anymore. By the way, I also changed the racket, so expect me at Roland Garros next year as a spectator. Sasha Bublik is not the only one who changed his racket. Tsitsipas' coach said that their main priority is to find a racket, and that Tsitsipas has already tried 12 different rackets and decided on the model he will play with. And if Tsitsipas gets into the top 5 after that, that's it, guys. I think we just found the secret of tennis. Although before that Tsitsipas had already changed Wilson for the same Aero and then immediately won Dubai 500, and then the magic effect disappeared. So the main question is the improvement in play after changing the racket a temporary effect of novelty or the very missing key to victories? Write in the comments what you think. I played with Technofiber rackets for 3 years and my choice of these rackets was very fun. When I started playing tennis again 3 years ago, the Technofiber racket was literally the first one that ever got into my hands. And I was like, wow, a racket, I hit the court with it. Cool. What else do I need? This was the previous version of the T-Fight and it was really cool and soft. I didn't even want to try anything else. Only when I started playing tennis more, I became interested in what other rackets are. I want powerful shots with spin. How can I achieve this? I want to create more problems for the opponent I play with. I want to win, not lose literally all the time. Although I didn't really believe that changing a racket could somehow radically change the whole game. I rather thought that everything depended on your skills and not on the racket. But I started trying different models and it turned out that it really can. Choosing a racket is not an easy task, especially for amateurs. If you try a racket and don't feel anything, literally don't feel the racket, then it's unlikely that this will happen later. Most likely it doesn't suit you. With that very racket, an instant match happens. At least that's how it was for me. I felt like in the Harry Potter movie when he was choosing a magic wand. And it's the magic wand that chooses its owner. I'm not really a Harry Potter fan, guys. The racket is the main technical tool for the game, and it's important to find one that will match your game, your tricks, and your style. So guys, the point of this video is that if something doesn't work out for you in tennis, try changing your racket, and even if after that something doesn't work out, then you still need years of training, practice, but you can still tell everyone that I just haven't found my racket yet. Write in the comments whether you have found your perfect racket and whether you believe in general that a racket is important. I will be very interested to read.